We're standing on the grounds of Haw Branch Plantation in nearby Amelia, which is about 35 miles southwest of Richmond. And this area here, the house directly over my shoulder here, was part of a grant of land that was purchased in 1743. The plantation originally grew up to about 2,700 acres by 1798, and is thought to have been enlarged by its present exterior appearance by John Tabb, son of the founder, sometime after the Revolutionary War. The Haw Branch name is derived from a small stream on the property, the banks of which were lined with hawthorn trees. The large white mansion house is considered a splendid example of Georgian federal plantation architecture and has been a familiar landmark in Amelia County. It is surrounded by large magnolia, elm, and tulip trees. The most striking feature of the interior that we won't be able to see is some of the finely detailed work thought to have been installed around 1815. Haw Branch remained in the Mason family until 1872, when the crushing economic burden imposed by the Reconstruction caused its sale. In 1965, William Carey McConaughey and his wife, the former Mary Gibson Jefferson, bought the house and property, 120 acres, and began reconstructing it. Mrs. McConaughey is the granddaughter of a young girl who hid the family's silver from the Union soldiers in 1865. In the early morning hours of November 23, 1965, the entire family was awakened by a woman's blood-curdling scream. It seemed to come from the somewhere upstairs. Gibson and Carey raced up the stairs from their first-floor bedroom and met their children standing at the foot of the staircase, leading from the second floor to the attic. The two dogs, Porkchop and Blackie, were reportedly shaking with terror. The next day, the attic was inspected and nothing was found awry. Precisely 6 months later, on May 23, 1966, the McConaughey's again heard the woman scream. It resounded through the entire house just before dawn. No source was discovered. The strange phenomena occurred once more on May 23rd, exactly after 6 months more had passed. And then the following November 23rd again. But there was no shrieking on that November 23rd date. Again on May 23rd of 68, they heard the human scream again. And then children heard heavy footsteps walking across the yard and an eerie screeching wail inside the house. They went on the front porch here, and Gibson recalls the definite sound of someone or something running. Then they heard the wail from somewhere behind the barn. The next morning, the children said they had seen a giant bird in the moonlight, which had a wingspan of 6 feet. Although the bird was not seen again, its screeches were heard several other times, and always on or around May 23rd or November 23rd. The dates that keep coming to mind, the 23rd and the 23rd of both November and May, is a puzzle.